Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit, and we're continuing our series of daily morning meditations where we generally look at one or another of the lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the Daily Office Lectionary. And today I thought we'd pick up where we left off on yesterday's reading at evening prayer from St. John's Gospel. We're in the middle of this great story about the man who is born blind. Jesus spits in the clay, the dirt, he makes clay, he anoints the man's eyes with it, he goes and washes in the pool of Siloam, and he can see. And when they ask him, who did this for you? He says, a man named Jesus, a prophet from Nazareth. They ask him all sorts of questions. He says, look, all I know is this is what he did, and I can see. And they don't want to believe him. And they don't want to believe it because it's Jesus. They even they're like, are you sure you were born blind? And they ask people, and they're like, well, this looks like the guy. Yeah, we think so. They even call his parents, and they're like, look, we know he was born blind, but how he recovered his sight? Ask him he's of age, because they're afraid, it says, they're afraid of being kicked out of the synagogue by the religious authorities. And so we pick up there the story at chapter 9, verse 24. Again, they called the man that was born blind and said unto him, give God the praise. We know that this man is a sinner. But he answered and said, whether he be a sinner or no, I know not. One thing I know, that whereas I was blind, now I see. Then they said unto him, what did he to thee? How opened he thine eyes? And he answered them, I have told you already, and ye did not hear. Wherefore would ye hear it again? Will you also be his disciples? Then they reviled him and said, thou art his disciple, we are Moses' disciples. We know that God spake unto Moses. As for this fellow, we know not from whence he is. The man answered and said unto them, why, herein is a marvelous thing. Ye know not from whence he is, and yet he hath opened my eyes. We know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshipper of God, and doeth his will, him he heareth. Since the world began, was it not heard that any man opened the eyes of one that was born blind? If this man were not of God, he could do nothing. They answered and said unto him, thou wast altogether born in sins, and dost thou teach us? And they cast him out. Jesus heard that they had cast him out, and when he had found him, he said unto him, dost thou believe on the Son of God? He answered and said, who is he, Lord, that I might believe on him? And Jesus said unto him, thou hast both seen him, and it is he that talketh with thee. And he said, Lord, I believe. And he worshipped him. And Jesus said, for judgment I am come into this world, that they which see not might see, and that they which see might be blind. And some of the Pharisees which were with him heard these words and said unto him, are we blind also? Jesus said unto them, if you were blind, ye should have no sin. But now ye say, we see. Therefore, your sin remaineth. I mean, this guy, what a roller coaster this poor guy has gone on. He's gone from being a blind beggar to being miraculously healed, to being interrogated for it, and being accused of somehow being wrong because God healed him through Jesus Christ, of course. And then when he points out that no man who's been born blind, at least as far as he knows, and the scripture's right, anyone who's born blind has received his sight. How could this person who's did this for me be sinful? They're like, how dare you teach us, right? Your blindness must be your sin, right? Because there was some thought of that at that time era. And so they throw him out. He gets thrown out of the synagogue. And here comes Jesus again to console him and to reveal to him the good news that in fact he is the Son of God. And he receives his worship. Wow, one of my favorite stories. The persistence, the love of Jesus, and the love for Jesus by the man. And the fact that those who think they have it all, they think they can see. But if they don't see Jesus, they really have no insight at all. So today's Tuesday, 12:15 Holy Communion, 4 o'clock evening prayer. And God willing, we'll see you in church or on this live stream. I hope your Tuesday is a day that is full of blessings.